What's up, everybody? How's it going? It's Carpo here, and if I don't make this video, I probably won't make it. So it's kind of late in the evening. The kids have gone to bed. The wife is reading to them, and I thought I would make a video talking about my thoughts on life in general. And this is kind of a wide spreading video, but a few notes I wanted to make. First off, the world is changing too goddamn fast. I mean, everybody knows that the internet, of course, changed the way that we interact. It changed our behavior. It changed what we're willing to reveal about ourselves. But um, it's changed music. It's changed movies. I mean, bands that used to have a certain way of doing things, where you would get a record label and you would go out and you would tour and be a rock star. That's completely changed. And of course, there were bands that tried to fight Napster, Metallica, for example, or that thought they could fight the future, thought they could fight the change of the way the internet was going to change music and movies and everything else. They didn't win, and now pretty much any song you want to hear is on YouTube. And I've been making YouTube videos now for 9 years. When I first started, you couldn't even find hardly any music on YouTube. If it was removed because of violations or copyright strikes. And now that's all changed. And it's pretty wild because actually, I got a notification this morning for my YouTube channels, all three of them, the three ones I usually use. And it said that you have to, by law now, approve, confirm whether or not your channel has child content on it. And apparently, if you have children's content, you won't be able to have comments. You won't be able to post anything that sends notifications, I guess, to the people. There's certain conditions and certain ads you can't post, and everybody is up in arms about this. They're like just devastated because they can't make their ad revenue, and I secretly don't give a fuck. I mean, I don't mean that. I mean that in the kindest way, but what I see on YouTube that is being sold as children's content is really just a bunch of families making stupid videos, throwing their kids in front of the camera saying, open these gifts and open these packages. Do you remember when people were opening those little eggs? There's these little, I don't know, there are channels that are legitimate, great channels, family channels, people that just want to share their lives. And that's great, that's fine. But look, if you're going to complain because you're losing ad revenue, I really don't care, because I have never made shit on my channel. And even if I wanted to, I couldn't. If I even talk about cannabis slightly or kratom, instantly my channel would be demonetized. So for all these years, I've never monetized my channel. And I've made it a place where I could just talk about what I fucking care about, say fuck, say shit, whatever. And the beauty of that is that YouTube would not sponsor a video where I say fuck shit over and over. But all my subscribers would see it. The thing is, most people don't care about their subscribers. They care about getting onto the trending list because they want to get famous on YouTube. And, hey, I get it. Fine, you want to make a bunch of money, you want to make millions of dollars playing in pools of candy and making your kids open gifts or make slime or Preston or any of these other douchebags that, have YouTube channels. And I have every right to say that. There's part of me that says, I'm not going to hate on other people. And I won't. I had my laugh at PewDiePie. But at the same time, the guy gets it. He's one of the earliest, famous guys who made his money just doing stupid shit. And who am I? By me saying this, I'd instantly get the the okay boomer, right? I was going to talk about that the other day. The okay boomer is the new reply for anybody who's old, who just says, oh, the kids these days. But really, it's for the baby boomers. But I'm not going to go into that. But the internet has changed, and it's changed people, and it's a weird world to live in. So a lot of those shows are shit, but what do you do? I mean, you can't. I could sit here and talk shit about YouTube channels, but it's just as easy for people to talk shit about mine, and so be it. That's the beauty. I guess what I wanted to really get into was space stuff and talking about, science and technology, but I end up rambling on about whatever's on my mind. And that's what I love about my channel. The fact that I can talk about whatever I want because it's my fucking channel. And I'm kind of just, I'm burning out on YouTube, to be honest. I'm losing interest in making videos. And whenever I come out to make one, I just walk away. And I think that's kind of a good thing. It's especially lately, I've had I've had some different thoughts on my mind. I had a interesting experience the other day with one of my psychedelic friends, and it kind of reset my ability to understand what I really need in life. And I'm still kind of reconciling, some of the lessons I went through in my own mind during that night. But let's put it this way: I like to explore my mind, and I can't even talk about it in actual terms because I'm afraid that YouTube will actually censor or terminate my video for even talking about psychedelics. So I just have to like be vague, and maybe that's part of this. The fact that I can't. Sometimes there are things I want to talk about that I can't, and I can't because YouTube doesn't allow me to. And so at the same time as I'm saying, haha, you have to just cater to YouTube's needs and fuck all these family channels, I also understand that they're just as frustrated as I am when I got all my videos censored for talking about kratom and psychedelics and cannabis. And YouTube's trying to clean up its act to compete with Disney and Netflix and all these other bullshit sites, and but who am I to say that because I'm using YouTube, right? So if I'm going to talk shit about it, I it's kind of hard for me to like sit here and talk shit about YouTube while I'm using it, right? And I keep seeing these comments like YouTube is dead and nobody's going to use YouTube anymore. And I hate to tell people, but people have been saying that for years. Every time something new happens, a new law passes, a new rule. For those who wonder why YouTube's doing the children thing, it's because they got fined $170 million by the FCC, I believe, for taking information, for harvesting children's information in order to advertise to those kids, which is completely against the law. And so there are a lot of things changing on the internet. So we're stuck behind this balance of should we regulate the internet or should we let it be the Wild West? And we've been working on that for years. I don't know what to think about it. I'm kind of on the fence. On one hand, I say people should be able to say whatever they want. On the other hand, I do have kids, and if they watch YouTube, I don't want them to look up Peppa the Pig and see somebody stabbing their dad in the heart. That kind of shit. And there are some really foul videos out there. So, it's not like should be a full hate on YouTube or on any internet site. People do need to clean up the act. My question is, it's kind of like Facebook, a perfect example. Mark Zuckerberg was up in this, being interviewed by Congress or whatnot, and they were saying, "Don't you think you should vet these ads, these political ads?" And he was saying, "I don't, because I don't know if we have the right to say that we know what's true and what's not." In other words, they've made this big deal about how Facebook should be censoring or vetting or checking on these political ads, but they're saying, hey, how do we know that what we're vetting and the actual information we're looking at is correct? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like you can't, it's one or the other. Either we have freedom of speech and you can say whatever you want, or we have people who are censoring other people from speaking because they want to, say, well, no, this isn't true. And they say, yes, it is true. And you say, well, whose fucking information do you even believe anymore? There's so much fake news out there. But, I'm grateful that the media exists, because if it didn't, we'd have no information. No matter who you are out there, if you want to say all the news is bullshit, all I can say is, then everything you say is bullshit too. If you have anything to say about what's going on in the world, unless you live there, unless you are there looking at what's going on, you don't know shit. You don't know what's going on. You're looking at a news article that somebody, even if it's your right-wing conservative bullshit Breitbart newsletter, it's coming from AP, Associated Press, or some other person who actually is a journalist who went there. So those are my thoughts on it. The world's changing. The internet's changing. Um, I have this part of me that just wants to say fuck YouTube and just move on and go back to, you know, take this energy and put it somewhere else. And I never thought I would say that, you know, after all these years, but it's weird. I just don't have the same passion for it I used to. Maybe I thought I would make some money on YouTube. But then again, you can always donate to my Patreon and maybe I'll keep making videos. That sounds so horrible. I'm totally joking. Um, I'm actually going to put a PayPal link in my description now too, because a lot of people don't want to deal with Patreon. So if anybody does want to, you know, help out this channel, because I've made almost 3,700 videos, and I rarely ever ask for donations, but it always helps. And I'm going to make a couple videos tomorrow. I have a couple of things I want to talk about, but I want to make sure I'm in a good state of mind and I'm not tired, because it's kind of late. I'm tired. And I'll think about it, take some notes. I'll let y'all know. Be well, my friends. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Oh, and I found the Seahawks jersey, like, in the bushes when I was out, like, cruising around town. I walked up by this farm while I was waiting to pick up my kids from school, and I found it laying in the field, so I picked it up. It was soaking wet, and I thought, you know, I'm going to take this home and clean it up, and I did. And it's a nice jersey, or shirt, whatever. Anyway, be well. Peace.